What urgent secret could change everything in a split second? Who is desperately trying to send a wireless message before it's too late? And what shocking truth will be revealed at the very last moment? Join us at Classic Storytime Hub as we explore A Wireless Message by Ambrose Bierce, a classic story reimagined in English. Before we dive in, subscribe for your daily stories. Now, let's go. It was the summer of 1896 when William Holt, a wealthy industrialist from Chicago, found himself temporarily residing in a small, nameless town somewhere in central New York. A year had passed since he parted ways with his wife, whether by bitter quarrel or mere clash of temper, only Holt himself could say. He was not one to share his secrets freely, yet somehow this story had escaped his usual discretion. Today, he lives far away in Europe, his past a faint echo. One evening, after visiting his brother's home, Holt wandered out for a solitary walk in the countryside. His mind, heavy with thoughts of lost love and domestic upheaval, seemed to pull him along a path of its own making. The world around him faded into insignificance. He neither noticed the passage of time nor the winding road beneath his feet. Before long, the familiar edges of the town had vanished behind him. The path twisted into loneliness, unfamiliar and silent. Holt realized with a creeping unease that he was utterly and unsettlingly lost. At first, Holt chuckled at his own misfortune. Central New York was hardly a place of danger, and one rarely stayed lost for long. He turned back along the path he thought he had come, yet as he walked, the landscape seemed to shift, sharpening, glowing with a strange, soft red light. His own shadow stretched before him on the road, oddly distorted. "The moon must be rising," he murmured. But then the thought struck him, it was nearly the new moon. If the moon were visible at all, it had surely set hours ago. Holt froze, a prickle of unease crawling up his spine. He turned, scanning the horizon, searching for the source of the widening crimson glow. And still, no matter where he faced, his shadow lay ahead, while the mysterious red light followed him from behind. Each turn revealed the same haunting pattern: shadow in front, light behind, deepening, silent, and unrelenting. A strange dread settled over him. The world had shifted, but he could not tell how or why. Holt was stunned, dumbfounded, he would later admit, but beneath his shock lingered a sharp, probing curiosity. Determined to gauge the strange light's intensity, he pulled out his watch, squinting at the dial. To his amazement, the numbers glowed clearly in the crimson radiance: 11:25. Then, without warning, the mysterious glow erupted into a blinding, almost violent brilliance. The sky itself seems to ignite, the stars snuffed out, and Holt's own shadow stretched grotesquely across the landscape, massive and unnatural. Amid this otherworldly light, he saw her, his wife, floating as if suspended in midair, her nightgown fluttering around her, a small child clutched to her chest. Her gaze locked onto his, and in those eyes was something beyond comprehension. Holt would later confess he could not name it, could not describe it. It was something not of this life, something that turned his blood cold with wonder and terror alike. The brilliant flare lasted only moments before plunging the world into darkness. Yet in that black void, the apparition lingered, white, silent, and unnervingly still, before gradually fading, like the lingering afterimage when you close your eyes. Holt would later recall an odd detail he hadn't noticed at first. The vision had shown only the upper half of the woman's body. Everything below her waist remained unseen. The darkness was not complete. Slowly, the shapes of the world around him re-emerged. By the first light of morning, Holt found himself walking back into the village at a spot entirely opposite to where he had left it the night before. He arrived at his brother's house, a hollow shell of a man, wild-eyed, haggard, and gray as a rat. His words tumbled out in fragments, recounting the night's impossible events. "Go to bed, my poor fellow," his brother said gently. "We'll understand this better in time." An hour later, the grim confirmation arrived in the form of a telegram. Holt's home, in one of Chicago's suburbs, had been consumed by fire. Trapped by the flames, his wife had appeared at an upper window, clutching their child. There she had remained, motionless, dazed, until the floor beneath her gave way. She was gone, leaving no trace. The clock had marked 11:25, the precise moment when horror and tragedy converged, a moment Holt had witnessed from afar, across time and distance, yet never to forget.
And thus the story ended. If you liked this journey into the worlds of classic literature, do not forget to support us by subscribing so we can tell you more. And hey, if there's a classic tale you'd love to hear told in this suspenseful style, drop its name in the comments below. Your suggestion might be our next chilling adventure.